So hello everyone. Okay, so my name is Tzipora. Nice seeing everyone. So we have together like 45 minutes to talk about a special day, Yom Kippur, and the whole what's called Avodat Kohain Gadol on Yom Kippurim. Um, it's a very short time to talk about something very wide, but we'll try with a little bit with many pictures. And I want to just tell you that all the sources are in Hebrew because basically, where do we learn? Where do we learn it from? So either we learn it from the Mishnah of Yoma, that's a main source. Second source is from the Rambam, Avodat Yom Kippur. Okay, that's a very important source. So the sources are going to be in Hebrew, but well, we'll manage. Before we start, Azmir told about my house, so I do want to show you where do I live. I'm going to stand over here. Okay, so I just went up 10 minutes from my house to the top of Har Zaitim, and I took this picture. It's a kind of an old picture, but this is what I see from my house, the Har Bayit, the holiest place, and this is what I see from my bedroom. So I do live very close to the Jewish cemetery of Har Zaitim, but this is what I see overlooking. You can see the holiest place, Kodesh HaKodeshim. I just want to show you a quick short film. The group that I took them. Okay, so this is the view. Okay, this is the view that what we see from Har Zaitim. I live in the entrance of an Arab neighborhood called Ras El Amud. Okay, Ras El Amud. That's the name of the Arab neighborhood. Okay, have you heard about Ma'aleh Zaitim? Ma'aleh Zaitim is a Jewish neighborhood with 150 families. I don't live there. I live in an ancient house with two families. You'll see it soon. And but I live behind a mosque. I hear 5 times a day, Allah Akbar, from my kitchen. But like I said, it's a very big zchut living overlooking Har Bayit. Just a second. It's like a half a minute film. Okay, so when we came to the house, we saw that on the floor there were matzevot, the tombstones. The Arab just, did a whole, this is a whole story, but so this is a very interesting house, and it's a big zchut living in East Jerusalem, okay? So let's start our journey, okay? We're starting, first of all, when we talk about Bet HaMikdash, so we start from the source, from the beginning. This is a picture of the Even Hashtiyah. Today, the foundation stones underneath the dome of the rock. Okay, you can see it. It's standing there, and this is very relevant for Yom Kippur because the Even Hashtiyah was in Kodesh HaKodeshim, and we'll see that the Kohen Gadol used to enters the Kodesh HaKodeshim 4 times during the whole Yom Kippur. Okay, so let's start from let's film about Bet HaMikdash to get to know. Okay, this is the Bayit Sheni. Okay, Bayit Sheni, the second temple. We can see the 4 walls surrounding. Okay, this is the western wall. Okay, the western wall, the Kotel, and this is the eastern wall. And over here is the platform of Har Bayit. Okay, in the white platform, so also Goyim were allowed to enter. But they weren't allowed to enter to the Bet HaMikdash. We had a kind of a fence over here in the name of the Sorag. So this was a border up till here the Goyim could go. And from here and inside, the only OUisrael. Now we're entering the first section. It's called Ezrat HaNashim. And over here in Ezrat HaNashim, we'll see later what do we do in Yom Kippur. But we're looking at the 15 steps. And we're going inside to opening the Sha'arei Nikanor opening, and we're entering Ezrat Kohanim. In Ezrat Kohanim, we have the Mizbeach, the altar, and we have the Heichal. Okay, the Heichal that was very high in the time of Bayit Sheni. It was 100 amot, like 50 meters high, and inside was the Kodesh and the Kodesh HaKodeshim. That was the the inner part, okay? So this is the structure of Beit Sheni. When we deal about the Kohen Gadol, we have a few areas that we have to know. Basically, this is Ezrat Nashim, like I mentioned before, but all the Avoda, okay, usually every day we have a kind of a lottery between the Kohanim who does every different kind of jobs, okay, who lights the menorah and the Ketoret, but Yom Kippur is the only day that the Kohen Gadol does the work from the beginning till the end by himself. Okay, there's no one that helps him to do this, the Avoda. Okay, so one very important area is this Ezrat Kohanim, like I showed you before. You can see the smoke coming up from the Korbanot. The Heichal, we have over here 12 steps that lead us into the entrance. And we have the Kodesh. The Kodesh is where the menorah and the Shulchan and the Mizbeach HaKtoret. And like I mentioned before, over here inside, in the western part of the Bet HaMikdash is the Kodesh HaKodeshim. So these are the areas that we deal with the Avodat HaKohen HaGadol. Okay, so the Avodah of the Kohen HaGadol starts not on the day itself, but starts at least a week before. So like I told you, the quotes are taken here either from the Mishnah or from the Rambam, either or. So Kohen Gadol paresh mi beito shiv'a yamim lifnei Yom Kippurim. He leaves his house a week before and he comes into Bet HaMikdash and he starts to learn and to practice the Avodah. He has a few very hard Avodot, and one of the very important Avodot is the Ketoret, okay? Over here we can see the golden vessel that held the Ketoret inside. The Ketoret, we have 11 spices, okay? So he practices all this a week before Yom Kippur. So if I would think about next week, I mean, a week before, it's like from after Rosh Hashanah, he leaves his house and he lives in Bet HaMikdash for a whole week. Then is the Ketoret called incense? Yes, exactly. Okay, right. Now, okay, I'll skip this. Now, another thing he practices the different kind of korbanot. Okay, each holiday we have the korbanot. Sukkot we have a lot of korbanot, but on the day itself we can see over here the two goats, black goats. One is Seir La Hashem and Seir La Azazel. We see over here a cow, and we have a lot of sheep. So he has to bring the Korban HaTamid. The Korban HaTamid, this is a Korban that you bring every single day, 365 days a week. It doesn't matter if it's Shabbos, a regular day on Yom Kippur, but you have on Yom Kippur special korbanot. So we're going to see what are the different. So these are the animals that during the day he's going to sacrifice. Now, there was a special chamber in the Bet HaMikdash that was called Lishkat Bet Avtinas. Avtinas were the family that were in charge of making the Ketoret. Okay, the Ketoret, the incense, was brought every single day. It's not something unique for Yom Kippur. In the morning and late afternoon, they used to bring the Ketoret, the incense, and bring it on the burning ashes on the altar, what's called Mizbeach HaZahav. So this was done twice a day, every single day. What was special for Yom Kippur is that the Kohen Gadol, it takes a shovel, a gold kind of a shovel from gold, and he will enter the Kodesh HaKodeshim with the Ketoret, okay? So in addition to the regular Avodah, he goes with the Ketoret. So this chamber is called Bet Avtinas. These were the Kohanim. They used to crush, okay, the Ketoret, the different spices. And over here we see something, a very special Avodah. I told you, when he's going to enter the Kodesh HaKodeshim, he doesn't have anyone to help him. So he's going to go with this vessel, kli, okay? And he'll have to, in the Kodesh HaKodeshim, take the mixture of the Ketoret and pour it with his fingers into his hands, and then pour it on the burning ashes. And he's not allowed that the Ketoret should fall on the floor of the Kodesh HaKodeshim. So all this has to practice before how to, put it on your hands. Okay, so this is called what's called in Hebrew chafinat haktoret. That's the Hebrew word for that. Now, okay, I'll skip this a little bit. Now, we're now talking Yom Kippur this year has come. Oh, it's Shabbos. Okay, it's easy to remember. So what do? We daven. We go to what's the first davening? Kol Nidre, and then we have Arvit, and then we go home and we go to sleep. Okay, to get a lot of energy for the next day. We have to fast the whole day and daven the whole day. But what does the Kohen Gadol do on the night before Yom Kippur? He does not go to sleep. Okay, he stays the whole night up, and over here we can see in this chamber that we said, the Bet Aftinas chamber, Lishkat Bet Aftinas, he stands the whole night over there, and he teaches and gives shiurim the whole night, and he doesn't go to sleep. Okay, that's interesting. And think about it, the following day, he has to do the whole avoda, the whole work by himself. So this is what we see the night, just the night, the beginning, the night before Yom Kippur. Now, in the early morning, this is not a correct picture, because over here we can see the Kohen Hediot, an ordinary Kohen. And this picture is from a regular day. But remember, on a Kohen, on Yom Kippur, the whole avodah from the morning to the evening is only done by him. Now, it says like this in the Yoma, in the Gemara, it says, Amar Rabbi Bar Chama, Hasatan. Look at the word Hasatan. We have the Hey, Shin, Tet, Nun. In Gematria, if we take the Hey is the 5, and Shin is 300, and Tet is 9, and Nun is 50, so together is 364. Begimatria tlat 164. 364. Yomei itlei reshuta leistune beyomei de Kippuri. How many days do we have in a year? 365 days a year. So the only day that the Satan, the Yetzer Hara, like we have different names, is kind of put aside, doesn't have any work, is Yom Kippur. Like the Gemara says over, Itlei, he does not have permission to leistune. Istune is to, how would I say it? Well, not to, the Satan, like to enter, to give like to be a, well, to be, what's the opposite of the synagogue? The katego, okay? Well, exactly, okay? So this is the day, that's why it's a really very holy day, in the Yom Kapara, Yom Teshuvah, because the only day that the Satan is kind of sleeping. Now, what do we see over here? This is the first work that we see that the Jew in Bet HaMikdash is taking a shovel, what's called machta, a machta in Hebrew, and in the Mishnah, the word of the Mishnah, and the Kohen goes up this ramp into the Mizbeach, on the Mizbeach, and he takes a shovel of the burning ashes that were burning there the night before, and he takes it. This is called Trumat Hadeshen. Okay, that's the name of the work. Trumat Hadeshen is taking the burning ashes from the korbanot that were burning the whole night, taking it and pouring it into a hole that's down over here near the Mizbeach. Okay, so this is like the first, what's called the first avoda. On every single day you do it, Trumat Hadeshen. Now, before you start working in Bet HaMikdash, in the morning, we wash our hands, Netilat Yadayim. So what do Kohanim do? Kohanim, they wash their hands and feet in the Mizbeach. Now, this is something, even though in Yom Kippur we do not use any water, if we have to, do Netilat Yadayim, we do up till here. But the Kohen Gadol, we will see that he washes in what's called Kiddush Yadayim Veraglaim. He takes his right hand and his right foot, left hand and left foot, and he washes his hands with a special kli, kiton shel zav. I would say it's like a kind of a, how do I say in English? A pitcher from gold, okay, from gold. Think about how expensive it is to wash his hands and feet. And this he will do 10 times a day, 10 times during the whole Yom Kippur. How do we get to 10? Because he's going to change his clothes during the Yom Kippur, and let's see how many times he changes his clothes. Okay, so this is something, a very important halacha from the Rambam, and we'll read together. Kol ma'aseh, it's the Rambam, Avodat Yom Kippurim, Perek Bet. Kol ma'aseh hatmidin vehamusafim shel Yom Zeh, we're talking about Yom Kippur. Kohen Gadol עושה אותם והוא לבוש בבגדי זהב ועבודות המיוחדות ליום זה בבגדי לבן. So we're used to think just a week ago I bought a white dress. I said this dress will be for Yom Kippur. Now why do we wear white clothing? Because we remember the Kohen Gadol that wear whites. He wears his white, what's called bigdei lavan. But it's almost correct because he changes his clothes during Yom Kippurim 5 times. And what's the rule? When he does an avodah, this is not special for Yom Kippur. It's an ordinary. It's an ordinary avodah that you do it every single day, like lighting the menorah. You light the menorah 365 days a year in the Bet HaMikdash. So when he will light the menorah in the late afternoon before Shkia, he's gonna wear his bigdei zahav, his golden garments, because this is an ordinary avodah. Or for example, korban hatamid. This is a sacrifice that you bring every single day, twice a day. He will wear his bigdei zahav, his golden garments. But when he does a special avodah for Yom Kippurim, like entering the Kodesh HaKodeshim, he's going to change his clothes to bigdei lavan. So he switches his clothes back and forth, 5 times during the Yom Kippurim. And how does he do it? When I change my clothes, I just go to my closet, take out new clothes, and just switch. But for him, it's a whole process. What he does, let's say he's wearing now his bigdei zahav, he starts with his golden garments because he has to do the avodat tamid. Okay, that's early in the morning, the first korban. So when he wants to change to bigdei lavan, he's gonna wash his hands, what we saw before, kiddush yadayim veraglayim, washing hands and feet. He's gonna take off his clothing, tovel in the mikveh, go out, change his clothes, and wash his hands and feet again. So if he changes, okay, we said 5 times a day during Yom Kippurim, he changes his clothes, and it means he 5 times tovels in the mikveh, okay, one day, think about it, 5 times he tovels in the mikveh, and he washes his hands and feet 10 times, one before and one after. Okay, so this is like a thing we have to remember. It's switching back and forth all the time, not easy. And this is what the Rambam continues. 5 tvilot, okay, in the mikveh, ו10 kiddushin tovel Kohen Gadol. Okay? Now remember the number 10 is very interesting because we have a lot of things that are connected to the number 10. First of all, it's the 10th day of Tishrei. Okay, Yom Kippur is the 10th day. We have he tells 10 times Kiddush Yadayim Veraglayim. He enters the Kodesh HaKodeshim, and that's the 10th Kedusha, because we have a Mishnah that says Eser Kedushot Hen. It's a Mishnah in Kelim. Some Sephardi Jews read this Mishnah on Shabbos morning. So it says, Eser Kedushot En, Eretz Yisrael Mekudeshet Mikol Ha'aratzot. All of you made Aliyah to the holiest country. And then it deals the Yerushalayim Mekudeshet Mikol Ha'arim. And it goes, Harabait, Ezrat Nashim, Ezrat Yisrael. And the holiest spot, the 10th Kedusha, is the Kodesh HaKodeshim. So that's the only day of the year. On the 10th day of Tishrei, he enters to Kodesh HaKodeshim. That's the 10th Kedusha. So we have a bunch of things that are connected to 10. Okay, so what do we see over here? The Kohen HaGadol wearing his bigdei zahav, okay, the golden garment, as he's entering over here into a special chamber. Over there he has a private mikveh in Bet HaMikdash. And this is what we read in Seder Avoda in the Musaf. So, Porsus Sadin Shel Bus, like you put a white sheet, and before he enters to the Kodesh, not the Kodesh, before he enters the mikveh. Okay, let's continue. Now, we're starting the morning with the ordinary job of Korban HaTamid. Okay, we can see over here the Mizbeach. We don't have time now to deal there's a whole shiur, how do you do the Korban HaTamid, but we're not going to talk about it. But just want to tell you that you take a sheep or a goat and you slaughter the different parts, okay, the head and the feet, and then the Kohanim throw the different parts. Now this picture is not correct because this is an ordinary day. And on Yom Kippur, he's the only one that does the Avodat HaTamid. So this starts early in the morning. Second, he goes and he brings the ketoret into the Heichal. Now, why is he wearing these clothes? Because the Haktarat HaKetoret, the incense, is not something special for Yom Kippur. You do it every single day. Okay, so it's you see the burning ashes over here, and he pours the mixture of the ketoret. This is something he does again in the morning. Now, over here we see that in the beginning we saw the different animals he's supposed to bring in the musaf. Okay, we have over here 7 sheeps, and we're going to be focused now on this animal, this cow. What does he do with this cow? So we have another rule. During Yom Kippur, we have 3 times of vidui. Like we read it, all these things. Do you know Yishai Ribo? That's so nice. Do you know this amazing song? Amazing. Okay. Okay, so he's going to do during Yom Kippur 3 times of a vidui. The first vidui confession is on himself and on his family. Let's go back. Ana Hashem chatati ani uveiti. Okay, so before he's to ask teshuva for all OUisrael, he first has to have a personal teshuva. Ani uveiti, and all this Ana Hashem kaperna, and this vidui he does on the cow, the first number 1. And when OUisrael hears the Shem Hashem, okay, because I'm going back again. Ana Hashem kaperna. Okay, Ana Hashem. When they hear the Shem Hashem, okay, the Kadosh Baruch Hu's name, how do they bow down? This is the way that you bow down in Bet HaMikdash. Okay, this is what we do in Shul. Okay, every Yom Kippur, but then we bring a cloth or whatever, because we're not allowed to bow down like this out of Bet HaMikdash, only in Bet HaMikdash, and you say Baruch Shem Kevod Mechuto Le'olam Va'ed. Now, we said we have a lot of things that are 10, number 10, right? So another thing is another number 10 in Yom Kippur. Again, this is from the Yoma. 10 pa'amim maskil Kohen Gadol et Hashem bo bayom. Okay, when we say God, the Kadosh Baruch Hu's name is, we don't know today how to pronounce the Shem Hashem HaMeforash. Okay, this is whole. Some say it was built from 42 letters. Some say it was built from 12 letters. We don't know how to pronounce it, okay? It was lost during the years. But they 10 times during Yom Kippur, OUisrael used to hear the Kadosh Baruch Hu's name, okay? And 3 times on the first vidui, 3 times on the second vidui. What's the second vidui? He goes to the same cow and he does a vidui, not on himself, but on all the Kohanim. Okay, so from a personal vidui, then to all the Kohanim, and the third vidui, shlosha b'sa'ir hamishtalech. What's a sa'ir hamishtalech? The scapegoat. Okay, so that's a vidui for all OUisrael. Right? So then we get to 9, 3, 3, 3, and echad, another one, bagoralot. The goralot, when he's going to do the lottery with a sa'ir la Hashem, a sa'ir la Azazel. So he's going to mention again the Kadosh Baruch Hu's name. So 10 times OUisrael hears this the holy name. And every time when they hear it, they bow down. Okay, bow down in the Azara. Now, I just want to say, בראשונה היה אומרו בקול גבוה. In the beginning, when OUisrael, in the beginning of Beit Sheni, used to say it loud. משרבו הפרוצין היה אומרו בקול נמוך. He used to whisper the name because OUisrael wasn't worthy. OUisrael was in a lower spiritual level. And it continues. It's a whole issue about the whole very interesting thing about the Shem Hashem. That today, like I said, we lost it. Today we just say we have like what's called Shem Adnut or Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei, 4 letters, 5 letters, but we don't know what's this 42 letters name of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, now if you look over here, the picture behind the quotes over here, so we see that now the Kohen Gadol changed his clothes to Big Day Lavan because he's going to do now the lottery on what's called the Goral on the 2 goats. So we can see over the 2 goats over here, and we have over here 2 threads, like 2 ropes that are made from wool, dyed with a tolat hashani. With the tolat shani. This is interesting. Last summer, we went during the summer, and I have a group of women that we learn once a week. It's a kind of a bet midrash, learning about Bet HaMikdash. It's for women, not for men, but someone's very interested learning and about these issues for a whole year. So we're starting after the Chagim. So in the last summer we went and we dyed. We took wool and we dyed. We picked up the tolat shani from trees. It's a whole process, whatever, and we dyed the wool with the tolat shani. It's like a kind of reddish orange color. Very, very special, very exciting. Okay, so we see the 2 threads that he's holding and the 2 goats. Now what he's going to do now, the Mishnah talks about the kalfi. The kalfi is kind of a box from wood, and in this box you have 2 like plates. One it says LaHashem Yud Kei Vav Kei, and the other one is LaAzazel. Now Taraf bakalfi, he puts his hands, taraf, this is the words of the Mishnah, puts his 2 hands in the kalfi, and he picks up his 2 hands, and let's read the description from the Mishnah of Yoma Perek Daled. Taraf bakalpi, he mixes, like he puts his hands, vehela shnei goralot. So he picks his hands, and he doesn't know on what hand. One hand would be LaHashem, and the second hand would be LaAzazel. And it could be either or. It could be on the right hand LaHashem, or the right hand could be LaAzazel. Now, now we have these 2 people standing, 2 Kohanim standing, and they're telling him, Ishi Kohen Gadol Hagba Yemincha. Please raise your right hand. Now, this is a very dramatic moment in Yom Kippurim. Why? Why is it so dramatic? Because everybody, OUisrael, they're standing, and they're looking at the Kohen Gadol, taking out these 2, pieces of, lotteries, okay, and they want to know to see what's going to be on the right hand. Now, if on the right hand is LaHashem, that's a good sign. That OUisrael knows that this year they're going to have a teshuvah on their sins. But if when he picks his right hand, it shows LaAzazel, that's a bad sign. It's like they know that this year is a bad year, and the same thing. What's going to happen later on Yom Kippurim, that the thread is called lashon shel zehorit, the orange thread won't turn into white. So it depends. Okay, everything is very connected to this moment. Okay, if LaHashem is on the right and LaAzazel on the left, that's a good year. But if it's opposite, LaAzazel on the right and LaHashem on the left, that's a bad year. Okay, so this is very, very important, a very dramatic moment. And then what does he do? I'm skipping. What's that? Now, like these two goats are identical. Okay, they're identical. Now, what does he do? One goat, Lashem, he's going to take this goat and he puts the thread on the neck. It means he's going to go and shecht it and bring it on the mizbeach. Okay, like on a korban. This is what's called La Hashem. But the other one, this is La Azazel, he ties the rope on the horns of the goat. And this is going to go out, not him, someone else going to go out to the desert and throw it from a cliff. So it's very important not to switch between these two goats, La Hashem and La Azazel. And that's why you have these signs, where do you tie the rope? Either on the neck or on the horns. Now, we always think that every year we had a kapara, every year we had a teshuvah, but it's not correct. The Gemara says like it, Hilbin hayu smechin. What do you mean hilbin? When it became white, this thread became white, OUisrael was very happy because they knew their teshuvah was accepted. But lo hilbin hayu atzevin umitbaishim. They were sad and embarrassed for their sins. Lo hilbin. Think about that. OUisrael is standing in Yom Kippur in Ezrat Kohanim, looking. Okay, because this thread was also, there was another thread hanging on in the entrance of the Heichal. They were looking up to see what's going to happen. Okay, imiyu chatatchem kashani. Kashani is a red color. Kasheleg yalbinu. Sheleg is white. Okay, snow is white. So everybody was very, and that was, think about it, to finish Yom Kippur and know that our teshuvah, our davenings were accepted. But if not, what a bad feeling they used to go back home. And this is the fact today that we don't have a Bet Mikdash. We finished today on the end of Yom Kippur. We finished with Tfilat Ne'ilah. We're very kind of, with a good feeling we go home after davening the whole day. But we don't have any good evidence that the Kadosh Baruch Hu accepted our teshuvah. During Bet HaMikdash, we knew exactly if yes or not. Okay, now, let's continue. Now we're going to the second vidui. The second vidui we said is the confession is for the Kohanim, his family, okay? And not his family, all the Kohanim. And then what does he do with his cow? Okay, with this, he comes and shechts it. And you see this is the Kohain Gadol wearing the white. You can see very the difference between all the ordinary Kohanim. They have the avnet, the belt is colorful. Okay, it's made out of tchelet argaman tolat shani. It's colorful, and he has a white belt, white avnet. It's called avnet. So he shechts and he takes the blood. Now, okay, we have all these different kelim where we have them in today in the Chona Mikdash Temple Institute in the Old City. If you never have been there, we highly recommend it. So this is a very big one to collect the blood of the parah. Now we can see over here a shovel from solid gold for the ketoret. Now this is an issue, and they also made this in the Temple Institute. What's called the bazach. This is the kili for the ketoret. Now he's going to do another important job in Yom Kippurim. He's going now to the Kodesh HaKodeshim. So before that, he goes on to the Mizbeach with his golden shovel, the golden machta, and he takes the ashes from the Mizbeach. Okay, we have two altars. One, the Mizbach HaOlah. This is for all the different korbanot. And we have an inner one. The golden mizbeach is for the ketoret. So he comes aware with the machta from gold, takes the burning ashes, and then what does he do? Now he's gonna go. He's gonna go into the Kodesh Kodeshim with two kelim. One will be this shovel with this. You see this? This is with the burning ashes over here. And the second is the keli with the ketoret. And let's see what's going to happen. Wait. We're a song. Okay, 5 minutes. You know this beautiful song of Avram Fried. So he describes the Kohen Gadol entering the Kodesh HaKodeshim on Yom Kippur. So he's going on the steps, the 12 steps. And he's holding these 2 kelim. Remember, he's holding the shovel with the ashes they took from the Mizbeach, and over here is the Ketoret. And he's very, very quiet, very solid, and very, he knows that all of the teshuvah is upon himself, of all of Israel. It's a very, very important moment. And he's entering the Heichal, and in the Heichal, we said it was split into 2, the Kodesh and the Kodesh HaKodeshim. So we're in the time of Beit Sheni, there were 2 parochot. He's entering the 2 parochot, and he's coming into the holiest place, into the Kodesh HaKodeshim. Now this Kodesh HaKodeshim, this painting over here is from Beit Rishon, not from Beit Sheni. It's specifically from Mikdash Shlomo, because we have over here the Aron Habrit with the 2 Kruvim, and we have over here very large Kruvim that were built by Shlomo HaMelech. This is description in Sefer Melachim. They had like 2 sets of Kruvim, but we don't have time now. And then he's entering on Yom Kippurim, and what he's going to do? He's going to come and he's taking the ketoret from this vessel, like we said before, into his hands, and he's going to put the ketoret, okay, on the burning ashes in front of the Aron Habrit. He waits a few minutes and leaves quickly. He does not stay there for a long time, because Am Yisrael is very scared to know if he's gonna he's gonna go out safely or not. So he does it very, very quickly. He's very concentrated with his avoda, okay, because it's the holiest moment of the day, and he's entering the holiest spot. And this was in Beit Rishon. In Beit Sheni, we did not have the Aron HaBrit. The Aron HaBrit was hidden in the end of Beit Rishon underneath Har HaBayit. So when he used to enter the Kodesh HaKodeshim, there was no Aron. The only thing that we had was the Even Hashtiyah, the foundation stone. So he puts this, he puts the shovel and on the burning ashes, and he leaves very quickly. Then, okay, the Ketoret, we have a lot of things. What's Ketoret? The Kedusha, Tahara, Chamim, Tikva. We have a lot of, and he goes out. And he goes out into the what's called the Kodesh, and then he davens. What does he daven? Tfilat HaKohen Gadol. Yehi Ratzon mikodesh HaKodeshim. Yehi Ratzon Mifanecha. Shetiye shana zeshchuna. Shetiye kshuma. We want to have a rainy year. Okay, we know in Israel we need a lot of rain. And velo yasur shevet miYehuda. Okay, this is the whole davening that he davens when he leaves the first time the Kodesh HaKodeshim. Remember we said he enters 4 times the Kodesh HaKodeshim during the whole day, during Yom Kippur. Then, now we see over here the Avoda that's connected with Achat ve'Achat. What does he do? He slaughtered the cow. So he takes the blood and he sprinkles it in front of the parochet. And then he goes to the Sa'ir LaHashem. Okay, we're doing it kind of quickly now, okay? Very, very quickly. The Sa'ir, we said we had 2 goats. So now he goes and he slaughters the Sa'ir LaHashem. That's the one he's going to sacrifice on the Mizbeach. And he enters the second time and he sprinkles what's called Lahazot in the second time with the blood of the with the Sa'ir LaHashem. Then he goes and he sprinkles again, okay? And then he takes, what does he do now? We have to finish. Okay, so we'll skip a little bit. We'll skip the process, but I do want to show you what happens with the Sa'ir LaAzazel. Okay, so now he does the 3rd vidui, okay? And what do they take this goat? In the middle of Yom Kippur, and they're going to take him into the cliff. There's close not far from Yerushalayim. And he goes, this guy, not the Kohain Gadol, he goes up to the top of the mountain. And he takes, and he takes this goat and throws it in down. And what happens to the goat? And look at the thread over here, becomes white. And OUisrael knew that their teshuvah was accepted. Now, we want to skip to the end of the day. The end of the day, okay, towards the end of the day, he lights the menorah. Okay, this is the menorah you light at the end of the day. And he gives back his bigdei lavan. Okay, bigdei lavan, he gives them back. And then what happens in the end, OUisrael looks, they're looking upon the thread. So we want to finish with this beautiful song. Okay. We did it very quickly. Okay, I just want to take, if you want to take my details, I give, two things. First of all, I give shiurim about Bet HaMikdash. This was very, very quick, about women in Bet HaMikdash, about the music in Bet HaMikdash, about a lot of things, Pesach, holidays, whatever. And these are tours I give also, I call it Jewish tours and Har Zitim and a lot of places. So you're more than welcome. We are also cards, okay? So thank you very much. Have a good day.